Hello everyone, and welcome to this video, which is in our Engine Snack series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler, and we are taking a look at the dramatic final part of the game between Scorpio and Komodo Dragon, TCEC, Season 22, Division P. Wins with black are pretty rare in the TCEC, and this one was pretty unexpected. Scorpio had been pressing on the white side of a very nice French opening for quite a while, but actually Komodo considered that Scorpio had come to a bit of a standstill. Scorpio didn't think the same. It was still at 1.3, but I think that Komodo was at 0.00 at this point. Yeah, I mean, I thought that white looked considerably better actually. White has this h4 to h5 break. And, well, yeah, you know, where is black's counterplay here? So after h5, g takes h5, bishop d1, knight c8, I was as shocked as anyone to see Komodo at minus 1.31. What is black's idea? Well, it's shown in the arrows. I mean, black is actually just going to take on b2 with that the knight on a4, play the knight b6 to a4 to chase away the queen, and then push the b pawn. And this turns out to be an unbelievably strong bit of counterplay. Let's just have a look. Scorpio changed its plan. I think it was, you know, aiming to take back with something else on h5, but it played bishop h5, knight b6, rook g3, rook b7. Berserk beat Stockfish with the black pieces, taking on b2 immediately. Komodo takes its time. It's a good move actually, just defending the pawn on f7, and also, yeah, you know, maybe allowing the rook to come behind to b8 if necessary. So bishop f4, and now knight takes b2, queen takes b2, knight a4. The key point is that white can't hold this a3 pawn, and the queen is coming into a3, so that's also very dangerous. Queen e2, b2. You start to notice, you know, gradually little things like, yeah, actually covering this b1 square is quite awkward because this light squared bishop, I thought it was a good piece, but actually you just notice that all the black pawns are stopping white's bishop from getting to this diagonal, so it can't stop the advance of this b pawn at all. Rook b1, queen takes a3, we're looking for knight takes a3, we're also looking for queen a2 here. Queen c2 played, and queen a2. And yeah, what on earth can white do here? White's position in some ways looks very attractive, but there's a lot of pieces that actually aren't functioning very well. I mean, we've already mentioned the bishop that can't actually get to this diagonal, which would be incredibly useful. We've got this knight here, which, you know, looks great, entrenched on a lovely outpost, but, you know, what's it actually attacking? What's it actually doing? Hard to say. And then in all that, you've got the black king, which is on a6, so far away from whatever white can do on the king side that you just sort of think, but it's going to take years before white's got any threats to attack the king. And you know, the key question is, of course, what can black do on the queen side? And it turns out that black can do an awful lot, because after bishop d1, there's this amazing idea. Black goes knight takes c3, just giving up another piece, rook takes c3, and bishop a4, and it's impossible for the white queen to keep on defending this rook. This is a really, yeah, I don't know, I mean, it's a very hard thing to visualize, I think, because I mean, after a move like queen takes a4, queen takes b1, you've got to be very sure that there's not all sorts of checks against the king, not all sorts of counterplay against a5. But there simply isn't. Scorpio played rook a3, rook b5, a lovely move there, just blocking the queen's entry and also just defending the pawn. And you know, in all quiet and calm, black is just threatening to play queen g6 and b1 queen. So bishop d2 was played, queen g6, knight g4, and then we're looking for this move bishop takes a5, which would be quite annoying. But a lovely little tactic here. c3, just interfering. If you go rook c3, I'll just go b1 queen. So bishop takes c3, but now there's no cover along the third rank by the rook. So this move queen h7 is extremely unpleasant. Komodo threatening queen h3, and then queen h1 check afterwards. So f3 played by Scorpio, queen h1, king f2, and now b1 queen. And well, Black doesn't have much in terms of minor pieces, but in terms of major pieces, I think you've got to say Black's done pretty well. Bishop a5, queen takes d1. The nice thing is that the queen's attacking the queen, so no discovered attacks are pretty dangerous. We just take, king b7, and well, Komodo won this very easily. I mean, in some ways, a little bit of a lucky win, of course. I mean, it was kind of triggered by Scorpio's time trouble, but I think it was also incredibly good judgment and vision, you know, just to understand that you know, this sort of blocked queenside structure we've seen in French positions, c4 being played so often, being a major strategical blunder, but it just you know, hadn't occurred to me that in this position the pieces were so set up that Black was able to sacrifice on b2, get all this queenside counterplay rolling, and then all of the tactics are just working. But I think, you know, the key point about it is just being this light squared bishop that isn't able to get back to this diagonal and give some support to the rook on b1. And of course, having opened the king side with h5, it just means that there's, yeah, I mean, there is actually quite a bit of potential danger on the king side for the white king, whereas the black king is completely safe. Really beautiful finish from Komodo, which is looking very strong and, well, definitely going to be a very serious contender for the Sufi. All right, thanks very much for watching.